Hello YouTube! Time for another knife review. This is the Canadian Edge, and today I have for you a Civivi knife. I believe this is a new knife to the Civivi lineup. This is the Civivi Voltaic. At least that's how I'm going to pronounce it that way. And I got this knife not too long ago, saw it online and thought, you know what, I like that. I want to check that out. And so here it is. And the Voltaic, it has a blade length of 3.48 inches. Open, it is 8.1 inches, 01. Closed, it is 4.53. The steel on it, it is a Sandvik 14C28N and a drop point blade. The weight on it, it is 4.3 ounces. It's got a G10 handle with stainless steel liners, and they are solid liners. There's no skeletonizing on those, which they probably could have done to alleviate a bit of the weight, as it is a little heavier knife, but you know, not a big deal. The pocket clip on this, it is reversible. It is a deep carry, and it is tip up. It is a flipper opening knife and opens very nicely, very smoothly. It does have the nail nick, or I don't know if you nail nick or fuller, whichever you want to call it. And if you get it quite right, whoops, that wasn't quite right, but you can do the reverse flick if you position your finger right in the nail nick, so it allows you to do that as well. But the main opening is the flipper opening. It does have jimping on the back of the blade, which, yay for me, I like jimping. I'm a fan of the jimping. I already mentioned the fuller nail nick, and it does have a finger choil. So you can get a finger in there and change up your grip and use it in a couple of different ways. It does have bearings in the pivot and very smooth pivot as well. And I've found that with Civivi knives. All the Civivi knives that I have, I think I have 7 of them now. Every single one of them has a very smooth pivot and works very well. There is no blade play, up or down, side to side. Sits in there nice and solid. And not quite drop close, but close. And the blade lines up nicely down the middle. So good job. Civivi, I found them, I like the craftsmanship of Civivi knives. I found them to be good for me and affordable, which is always nice. And so I enjoy Civivi knives. And as for sharpness, it has a nice sharp blade on it. You can see it cuts through the paper without any issue. Get rid of that. And my favorite, these are very handy zip ties. They're just not fun to take off of things once you get them on there. But it goes through that without a lot of effort. Nylon cord, oh yeah, goes through that without any trouble at all. And I have a feeling that this fake paracord is butter before this. It just glides through there. So nice sharp blade on it. 14C28N is a little higher budget steel. It's more toward the top end of the budget steels. Good quality steel, if you want to call it that. Reliable steel. And still easy to sharpen, but will hold an edge reasonably well, depending on what you're doing with it. But again, it's easy to sharpen, so if it does dull up, you can sharpen it quite quickly. Size, almost forgot size comparison here. Let's take a look. We got the Rat 2. So you can see it does have a bit of size on the Rat 2. We got the Bug Out. And it's got a bit of size on the Bug Out. I need to clean my knives before I use them in demonstrations. You carry them in your pocket and you get them covered with pocket lint. And the Tenacious, you can see, it's a little bit smaller, as is, I believe, the Civivi Cogent. Not by much, but, you know, it is slightly smaller. So, a little bit of length, but not much. And as I say, I've been enjoying the Civivi brand. Anybody that's familiar with them, decent knives at affordable prices. So I saw this one. I like the aesthetics of it. It's a fairly generic design to it, but I like what they've done with the G10 inlaid into the stainless steel. Would have liked if they skeletonized the steel a little bit, just to take a little bit of that weight off, but you know what, a heavy knife isn't necessarily a bad thing. Depending on the job you're doing, it can give you a little extra leverage. I like the profile of the blade. The finger nick in there looks good. And it looks good to me. You know, I like the design of it. The ergonomics feel good in the hand. Sits nicely. You've got a little bit more handle, so you guys with bigger hands, your little finger isn't necessarily going to be on the end, depending on how big your hands are. But you can see that a medium-sized grip, I have room at the end here, and it's a comfortable grip, and I like the jimping, gives it that nice extra purchase. Just if you're slicing things, or you know, making like kindling or something for firewood, it just gives you that extra purchase. And you can also get the extra control if you're doing fine cutting with the finger choil there. It is a narrower handle, so guys with big hands, you might notice that a lot, because I do, as compared to like the Cogent and that. The handle is a little slimmer, but it fits very well in the pocket because of that. You can see it's a nice slim design, and so you don't really notice it in the pocket when you go to purchase things or get things out. Did I say it was a frame lock? I can't remember if I mentioned that. It is frame lock, just in case I missed that when I was talking about it. And so back to the things that I like about it. The slim design. It has the nice slim design and fits great into the pocket. You get a good grip. Again, they've done the design, diamond type design on the, I don't know if you call that diamond. Anyway, they have made a design into the G10, which gives you a little more purchase. You don't slip as much. And the pivot on this, I really appreciate the pivot. It's not quite a drop close, but it is smooth and no problems opening and closing it. And if I get it right, well, I don't have it right, but I need to practice doing that a little bit more. So anyway, now I'm just embarrassing myself. But you can do the reverse open on it. So guys that are better at that, you'll find this knife that you can, anyway, you can do it. And so, yeah, it's a good looking knife, works well. I've enjoyed using it. Again, I don't do as much stuff as I used to. With my disability, I've slowed down a little bit, but still, for cutting cordage, as you saw, it goes through cord very easily. Opening packages, different things like that. It does that very well. Again, for things that I'm not really happy with, they could have countersunk, made the pocket clip flush. So you do have the pocket clip sticking up a little bit, which is wear and tear on your pocket. So, you know, knife companies, you think they would figure that out, but I guess in the end, it does take a little bit of time and money to flush those out so that you can have a flush pocket clip. And it's not the end of the world either. So, and I would prefer a little lighter knife. It is weighty. You do notice it in your pocket, which, you know, it can be a good thing, I guess. If you're prone to losing things, you'll feel this in your pocket. So the 4.3 ounces definitely has a little more weight to it than, say, a bug out, which is what, 1.9 ounces and that. But as far as function and that, it's very functional knife, make a great EDC. I think these are, I could be wrong, here in Canada, right around the $100 mark, between $90 and $100, depending on where you find them. But so a little bit pricier if you're looking for a budget knife. But I think, you know, from my experience so far with Civivi, if you spend $100 on this knife and you treat it well, you're going to get a long life out of it, and it is worth spending a little bit more on your knife than cheaping out and buying a $20 knife that you break in a week type of thing. So while it is a little bit on the higher end of, say, the budget knife spectrum, I feel it's worth it. It's been a good knife so far in the last couple weeks that I've had it. Like I say, it fits your hand well, easy to carry, easy to use, and opens and closes super nice. So I'm very happy with it, and I would recommend it as an everyday carry for anybody that's looking to get themselves a good everyday carry knife. So that is the Civivi Voltaic. If you have one, let me know what you think about them. I'd be glad to hear that. And leave me a comment, leave me a like, and subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, we welcome you. And I will be doing another review in a couple days. But until then, I will say stay safe and stay sharp.